that is reflection. So what is reflection at the first place? A reflection is a way to examine object and their types in C Sharp. In .NET Framework, it provides a system.type object which allow you to access all the information about object and their types. The system.reflection namespace contain classes which allow you to obtain the information about assemblies, modules, and type. So in general word, you can say that reflection is a technique using which we can get the metadata of a particular class assembly. We just get to know the different type of methods available in the class. What are the different type of those methods? What how many modules that contain? So all these things can be achieved by using reflection. A .NET ecosystem provide a system.type object which is capable of allowing all the access and information about about the objects and their types, and this contain under system.reflection namespace. Now, how to use an reflection in C Sharp? So let's understand this with the help of a pseudocode. So here we have created a class name as program, and inside this class we have created an object of an example class. Now in this type object we are finding out the type of this object that is created of an example class. So in this statement we are trying to find out the type of it, like what is the type of that object, and by this type it will get everything that is available inside this class example object. So how number of methods available inside this example object, number of fields, their properties, everything would become under this type object when we do a object.get type. Now again, there is a separate class name as method info, which gives the method detail that is available inside this example class. So in order to get that, we write type object.get method and then we pass the exact method name. So you can think this in this way, that the example class contains a method name as sum, and with the help of reflection, we are getting the method detail using get method. This get method is available inside this type object. So as soon as we execute this statement in this method info class, it will get all the details of this particular sub method. We can also pass the parameter that need to be passed as a parameter of this sub method. So these all things can be done with the help of reflection, and you can see that we are not creating or not calling the direct method of an example class. Instead, we are calling it with the help of reflection by creating a type of it, and then we are calling a method based on that type. Now let's display how can we invoke, or let's see how can we invoke this method. So in order to invoke this method, first of all, we have to use method.invoke, and then we have to pass the object as an object of this class and the object parameter as the object parameter that we have created so far. So the output of this entire two statement would be as follow. So first of all, we will display the assembly info by type object.assembly method, and it will gives us that it's a console application and its version is 1.0.0.0 and its culture is neutral and public key token is null. So these all are the assembly detail which is retrieved from this line of code, that is type object of assembly. Now the next statement where we are invoking the method of this example class. So we have invoked the sum method and it returns 15 because we have passed two parameter of value 5 and 10, and inside the sum method we must be doing a summation of these two values. You can see how powerful this reflection is. We can just call a method even in any of the class by applying couple of things like the properties and the method info. Now let's move to the next topic, that when to use reflection or when reflection can be useful. A reflection is used to create an instance of a type or bind a type to the existing object dynamically. So a question might be arise you like, since we have the example object class, we can just call the example method directly. You might have this question in your mind that we have an example object class and we can call this object directly. then what's the point of having this reflection concept altogether whenever we call the object of it? The answer is, with the help of reflection, this can be done dynamically. To get the type of an existing object and invoke its method or access its field and property, again, this is the second use case of reflection, where we can get the type from an existing object and invoke its method to access the field and property of a particular object. It is also useful to perform late binding, that is, accessing method or types that is created at runtime. So these are the all use case of a reflection that can be used in a C# programming language. Do let us know if you have any questions on these topics. Like we have discussed the asynchronous programming, we have discussed delegates, we have discussed reflection. So please let us know if you have any questions on that part. Thanks.